Home builders have been pulling some shady shit over the last few years, and with record demand and record low inventory, they've been able to get away with it. Today I'm going to go over what to look out for and break down exactly what you need to know to get the benefits of new construction without getting taken advantage of by these large corporations. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt Hawkins, Seattle Realtor with Real Broker. If you've bought a new construction home in the last few years, leave a comment. I want to know how your experience has been.
I know from experience, dude.
Buying a new construction home is appealing to many consumers for obvious reasons. They're move-in ready, maintenance costs are low, they're energy efficient, they come with warranties, and you have the ability to customize certain things like finishes, appliances, and landscaping. But buying a home from a big national builder can be a lot like playing games at a carnival. The whole thing is rigged against you.
Boy, you think I'm playing with you? Huh?
Not all builders try and take advantage of consumers. In my personal experience and having talked to many of my colleagues in the industry, it's usually the large-scale corporate builders that cause the most problems. Let's take a look at some of the pitfalls of buying with these companies. Builders disincentivize consumers from using their own real estate agent. If you visit a development more than once without your agent or without registering that you have one, they will not pay a buyer's agent commission.
Not with my money.
The agents that they have on site at these communities represent the builder, not you. They'll help you with answering questions, picking out different options, and filling out paperwork. But they are not legally obligated to look out for you or your best interests like your own agent would be. Some builders like Lennar don't even offer a buyer's agent commission to begin with. Now, I probably sound like a whiny little kid who's threatening to take his ball and go home, but the reason this makes me angry isn't just for the obvious reason of it could affect how I get paid.
I'm always angry.
It makes me angry because it encourages consumers to buy a home without proper representation or to pay for a buyer's agent out of their own pocket. This is a cost that many won't be able to afford, especially first-time homebuyers who are already shelling out a ton of money to purchase a home. They don't need to foot the bill for companies who have been raking in record sales and profits over the last few years.
Sells so good.
Many builders write up their own contracts instead of using the standard MLS contracts that are used on the vast majority of home sales. They'll add an escalation clause that allows them to raise the price of the home before closing. If prices have gone up, they'll try and get you to pay more or put the home back on the market while keeping your deposit. Once you sign the contract, the builder has to send it to upper management to be signed off on. Sometimes this can take a few weeks, and you don't have a valid contract until it's been signed by the builder and is returned back to your agent and their brokerage. They can, and sometimes do, sell the home to a different buyer for more money before your contract is fully executed.
What? That is crazy.
With all the supply chain issues that have been going on, many builders won't give you a specific closing date. And even if they do, in some cases, they have up to 2 years to finish building the home while holding onto your deposit. Speaking of deposits, many of these contracts stipulate that if a certain amount of time passes, the deposit goes hard, meaning that it is no longer refundable.
It's really unfair.
Builders often have their own lenders and or title company or ones that they partner with closely. They will offer you loan credits to cover the closing costs that seem like a great idea up front, but they may hit you with a higher interest rate or excess fees that will cost you much more over the life of the entire loan. Make sure you get multiple quotes and compare. Some might try and get you to pay for the entire policy. On resales, it's typically split between the buyer and the seller. You'll pay full retail for the policy instead of the highly discounted rate that they would pay.
It's payback time.
In some cases, the builder's lender will say that the client's loan is denied right before closing, even though they are fully approved with other lenders. Either the buyer will have to come up with more cash to complete the sale, or they'll put it back on the market and sell it for a higher price. Many contracts will stipulate that earnest money will go from $5,000 to $25,000 just for not using the builder's lender. They can take months to give you your deposit back if you terminate the contract, even with valid cause.
Pay me my money.
I suggest having an attorney ready to reach out to them to speed up the process. I talked to an agent in another state who had a buyer whose contract stated that if they did not use the builder's lender, that the builder could continue to market the property for sale and could kick that buyer out of contract and sell the home to a buyer who was using the builder's lender.
I'm ticked off, you know?
They know they can get away with this stuff because it costs too much time and money for most people to do anything about it. Now that the market is shifting and demand is heading to a more normal level, they are less likely to try and pull some of this shady shit, but you still need to protect yourself.
Ancestors protect me.
Now that we've talked about what to be aware of, let's talk about how to avoid these traps. Number 1, hire your own agent. And if you have to use the builder's agent, hire a lawyer to review the contract and make sure you understand it completely. Hire your own lender. Make sure you shop around for the best rates and terms. Ask your agent for referrals. And if you use the builder's lender, make sure you compare rates and fees. You could end up paying way more money over the life of the entire loan if you're not careful.
It's best to be cautious.
Make sure you know all the details of the contract. If you're selling your current home, know that if the sale gets delayed, they may charge you fees for that delay, or they may have the right to cancel the contract altogether. Make sure you have a contingency plan if you have to be out of your current home at a certain time, because you never know when the new one will be finished. Know what size deposit is required. Some builders have a minimum deposit requirement that can be 5% of purchase price or more. Make sure that you still get a home inspection. I had a client who had 40 items come up on a new construction inspection. They were all minor things that the builder corrected before closing. One of the windows was even installed upside down.
Are you shocked?
Builders make mistakes, especially if they're behind schedule. You're paying a lot of money for a new house, so you want to make sure everything is completed to your satisfaction. Know what you're buying. Model home configurations aren't typically reflected in the base price. The model home is going to have all the bells and whistles, so the price tag that you see probably doesn't include all those. Negotiate. Builders do not want to lower their price, and in this market they don't have to unless they've seriously miscalculated. But they will oftentimes negotiate on upgraded finishes, appliances, and closing costs. If it's a very popular development, there may not be room to negotiate. Sometimes just getting your offer accepted is a big win.
The negotiations were short.
Don't go nuts on upgrades, focus on upgrades that will increase the resale value. You may be able to save money by getting things added by a contractor after the fact instead of the builder. Make sure you price it out and see if it will save you money to get it done down the road.
That's the good stuff.
Getting into a development early can be a big advantage. You can customize finishes and appliance packages. Developments are often built in phases, so if you get in early, you can get a better price because prices often go up as they reach the next phase. Getting in early can allow you to choose your lot and look for a lot with the right view, privacy, traffic, and sun exposure. Review your warranty and make sure you know what is covered and for how long. Set yourself a reminder to review the warranty and address any concerns with the builder or warranty company several months before the warranty expires. Research the builder, look for online reviews, Google searches for lawsuits and complaints, ask your agent about different builders' reputations. It's usually the larger ones that will do subpar work and try and screw you. I prefer small and medium-sized builders. They're usually easier to work with, care more about their customers, and do better work. If you'd like to learn more about the Seattle market, then check out this video right here.